Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at several cases of police misconduct, including an incident where officers tased and applied excessive force to a 400-pound man in custody, severely violating de-escalation policies and use of force guidelines. First up, we have a case where officers tased a 400-pound man placed in their custody, which eventually led to his untimely demise. On January 27, 2018, in Barrow County, Georgia, a 30-year-old man by the name of Charles Williams was taken into custody and brought by Auburn police to the Barrow County Detention Center. The following footage showcases what happened afterward.
Hours Auburn PD is brought in a combative male.
I command you to tell me your intentions here today. Tell me your full name. What is your name, demon? Tell me your name! Tell me your name. You got family in Georgia? Austin Holloway? You got family in Georgia? You got family in Georgia? I'm gonna get the chair.
Hotel 5. We need Turner out here. He's trying to break it. Who's in 4? Oh, she's in 4 now? Key?
Who's in 4?
He's trying to break out of it. He's trying to break out of it now.
You want to see him?
Oh no, you stay over.
All right, let's go. Get him out. Come here. Now.
Come on. Come and
Go
get
to
me
that door.
some coke one. I know you like
Sir.
Get
Look, you're going to be tased if you don't cooperate. You will be tased if you don't cooperate. Y'all two, get this side. Tasing. Watch his feet, watch his feet.
At this point, the officers began trying to forcefully calm the victim down via force. However, unless there was an emergency, there was no reason as to why the officers couldn't have simply let Mr. Williams sit in the car until he calmed down. By choosing to confront him directly and escalate things, the officers violated their department's de-escalation policy, which states, "An officer shall use de-escalation techniques and other alternatives to higher levels of force consistent with training whenever possible and appropriate, without jeopardizing officer safety, before resorting to force and to reduce the need for force, whenever possible and when such delay will not compromise the safety of the officer or another person and will not result in the destruction of evidence, escape of a suspect, or commission of a crime. An officer shall allow an individual a reasonable amount of time and opportunity to submit to verbal commands before using force on the individual." Although Mr. Williams wasn't listening to verbal commands, the fact that he was stuck in the car and couldn't do anything didn't make him a threat. Thus, silencing him through the use of a taser was unnecessary.
Get him on the ground. Get him.
Help me, Lord! Jesus Christ, help me! Help me, Father!
Calm down.
Help me, Father! Father, help me! Get right up to me!
This way.
Father! I'm forgiven! Please forgive me, Lord! Please stop! Get the
Turn him over.
You can't do me no harm!
While the officers were trying to detain the restless man, one of them punched Mr. Williams in the stomach. Since they were already successfully detaining their target, the unnecessary punch could be seen as an excessive use of force, which refers to the force used in excess of what a police officer reasonably believes is necessary. It should be noted that a police officer may be held liable for using excessive force in an arrest, an investigatory stop, or other seizures. A police officer may also be liable for not preventing another police officer from using excessive force. Since the damage was almost negligible, this violation could be ignored. However, it's important to note that in most cases, this would lead to a violation of a person's fourth constitutional right, which states, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized."
Can I get some?
Yeah.
I forgive y'all, lady. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. What you? I forgive y'all. Oh, I forgive you, Father. Father, Jesus, please thank you, Lord. Jesus Christ, please thank you.
Hold what you got.
Please.
Get some leg shackles on.
Save me.
Hey, relax.
Dispatch.
Relax.
I want you to call Central and get in touch with Lieutenant Rock, see if they can get some help out there.
Relax.
We've got a head mayor over here having a containment. Just relax. Relax.
Please forgive me.
Relax.
Hey,
Calm down, man.
relax.
Please thank you, Lord. Get out of the house. I accept you back.
Just relax.
I believe that your son died on Calvary. Peace. I believe your son died on Calvary. And I ask you to come into the heart and help me again. Like a little.
He's at least
And happy life. And save people. And be a wonderful. I'm sad.
Stop. Stop.
I'm going to kill all of them.
Sorry, sir.
I'm sad.
Thank you.
I have no occasion like him. No.
All right.
You
You remember when the leg shackles on?
Yeah,
Let's get some shackles on.
Let me give you the ticket. They're really filling on.
I am.
Relax.
No.
Stop fighting.
No. Will. I make this just believe me alone.
Quit.
Stop fighting.
Lord, please forgive me.
Just sitting right inside.
He's sitting right inside. Just relax. Ready?
Relax.
William, just stop fighting, okay? All right? He's got to. Breathe. All right, there's our help. William, talk to me. William, talk to me.
Despite the victim being unresponsive, the officers continued to apply their full body weight on him. This was extremely dangerous, as such an action prevents a person from being able to breathe, causing positional asphyxia, a form of asphyxia which occurs when someone's position prevents the person from breathing adequately. According to the SCRJ model policy, chokeholds are defined as lethal hands-on maneuvers that may cut off the supply of blood and oxygen to the brain, and include under this definition strangleholds, neck restraints, and carotid restraints. Any and all chokeholds are prohibited under the policy. In the chokeholds chapter, the model policy also outlines directives and prohibitions on breathing impairments. breathing impairments include strikes to the neck and positional asphyxia. When considering the effects of placing so much body weight on a person, it becomes clear that the officers violated this policy.
William. Not ready. William. All right, guys. Yeah, we got help coming. You just be careful right in here, okay? William, talk to me.
Although help was on the way, the officers certainly weren't making the medics' jobs any easier by continuing to apply body pressure on an unresponsive victim. Therefore, it's unsurprising that their actions violated their department's use of force policy, which states, "Officers shall use only that amount of force that reasonably appears necessary given the facts and circumstances perceived by the officer at the time of the event to accomplish a legitimate law enforcement purpose." Moreover, since the other officers present did not stop their peers from committing this egregious act, they were liable of violating their duty to intervene policy, which states, "Any officer present and observing another law enforcement officer or a member using force that is clearly beyond that which is objectively reasonable under the circumstances will, when in a position to do so, intercede to prevent the use of unreasonable force. Any officer who observes another law enforcement officer or a member use force that is potentially beyond that which is objectively reasonable under the circumstances will report these observations to a supervisor as soon as feasible."
William. William. Cain. Cain. I might need a med unit. We got
A few minutes later, EMTs began performing CPR on the victim. Unfortunately, it was all for naught, since after Mr. Williams was taken to the Northeast General Medical Center in Gainesville, he was pronounced dead. Subsequently, an investigation was conducted regarding Mr. Williams' death, with an autopsy performed 3 days after his passing. Furthermore, after hearing about his death, the victim's mother, Mary Soshka, hired attorney Rod Dixon to investigate her son's death. According to him, at least 3 other videos were filmed of the incident that resulted in Mr. Williams' death, but authorities did not allow him or the family to view them. He further stated that the victim was arrested after he confronted a woman he suspected was abusing her children on the street. After confronting her about it, the situation escalated to the point that he pushed her and was later arrested for it. Unfortunately, as of the date of this recording, no further information has been made available regarding the investigation. Next up, we have an incident where officers kicked and tased a teenager in a racially motivated attack over a small traffic violation. On November 2, 2020, in Schertz, Texas, officers were tailing 18-year-old Zeki Rayford, who was driving towards his house. The following footage showcases what happened next.
Show me your hands! Show me your hands!
Immediately, without even trying to explain anything or ask questions, the officer pulled out his taser and started intimidating the victim. As previously stated, such kinds of acts are a direct violation of any police department's de-escalation policy, which states that officers must use other tactics to handle a situation before resorting to violence or force. Despite this being common knowledge for all deputies, this officer continued to threaten the confused 18-year-old. All of a sudden, the officers began chasing after the teenager and then assaulted him as he was entering his private property. This was a definitive violation of the boy's fourth constitutional right, which protects him from unreasonable seizures. Not only that, but the officer also unnecessarily tased the victim without a warning, a direct violation of the ACLU's taser policy, which states, "A verbal warning of the intended use of the taser should precede its application, unless it would otherwise endanger the safety of officers or when it is not practicable due to the circumstances. The purpose of the warning is to provide the individual with a reasonable opportunity to voluntarily comply and to provide other officers and individuals with a warning that a taser may be deployed. If, after a verbal warning, an individual is unwilling to voluntarily comply with an officer's lawful orders and it appears both reasonable and practical under the circumstances, the officer may, but is not required to, display the electrical arc or the laser in a further attempt to gain compliance before the application of the taser. The aiming laser should never be intentionally directed into the eyes of another, as it may permanently impair his or her vision. The fact that a verbal or other warning was given or the reasons it was not given shall be documented by the officer deploying the taser."
Bro, chill. What are y'all doing? Dad! Dad!
Stop resisting, dude.
Stop resisting.
Dad! You're under arrest right now. Do you understand that? You're under arrest. Turn the around. Put your hands behind your back.
Okay. Dad!
Get up. Dad!
Ah! Okay. I'm gonna give you the hand. Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands down! He's under arrest.
Even while the victim was lying on the floor defenseless, the officers continued to tase the victim despite there being no need to do so. As one could guess, this was yet another violation of the ACLU's taser policy, which states that the taser is a use of force and is to be used only when necessary to overcome resistance while effecting an arrest, preventing an escape, in self-defense or defense of another person from physical harm, and in accordance with the department's use of force policy. Since Mr. Rayford was neither causing harm nor resisting arrest, the officers were not allowed to tase him. Moreover, their actions also violated their department's use of force policy, which states, "Officers shall use only that amount of force that is objectively reasonable under the totality of the circumstances known to the officer at the time the force is used. Force may appear necessary at the time the force is used, given the facts and circumstances perceived by the officer at the time of the event, to accomplish a legitimate law enforcement purpose."
Stop, boy. Hey, sir.
Did you tase him?
Okay? You understand that? Calm down. Everybody calm down.
I'm sorry.
The door, don't break.
Yes, I did tase him. I did.
I heard everything. He was already on the ground. I heard everything.
You better relax. You're gonna get it next. I promise you will.
What do you think I'm getting next?
You gonna
You
tase
better
me next?
unclench your fist. And do not.
You gonna tase me next?
If you keep acting like the way you're acting, yes.
He's a disabled vet.
You're under arrest, Cain.
Thank you. He's a disabled vet.
Well, thank you for your service. No, but you don't know part of the service. You don't know.
We got one in custody. Send a couple more minutes. Good. Get up. Hold on. Get up. Hold on.
Oh, bro, y'all
I
really.
promise we're gonna talk to you, sir. Not worry. Calm down.
Oh, cause y'all said that y'all was gonna stop doing this stuff.
After wrongfully apprehending the victim, the officers took him away and put him in the back of a police vehicle, where they began checking on his physical condition.
Besides the probes, are you injured anywhere else?
No, just probes.
Just the probes? Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna get you checked out right now, all right?
I just want to go wherever y'all taking me so I can get processed and get out.
Yeah. We gotta get you checked out first.
I'm fine.
No, we gotta get you checked out.
Oh, yeah, we're required to, man.
Yeah, we're required
You got
to.
the probe study and everything, man.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Should have stopped, right?
Yeah, but it was still unnecessary.
You should have stopped.
It was still unnecessary though.
Yeah, okay.
Y'all didn't have to tase me. It was 7 of y'all around me.
There was only 2 of us.
There's only 2 of us at first.
Yeah, and then why did you tackle me?
Hey, huh?
You didn't have to ram me against
Yeah,
I did.
I was circled around. I was circled already.
You guys are here to check it
And
out.
you,
These guys are not police.
bro,
These guys are
Sit
even.
down.
If there's a problem,
you
there
don't
could
have
be
to
a
touch
problem.
me.
You
Just wait.
understand
What does that mean? Is that a threat?
Just wait.
that? No, I'm telling you.
You gonna pull your gun out on me and shoot me or something? I don't want to talk.
Okay.
I don't want to talk. You're a bad person. I'm uncomfortable
We need to
around
have
you.
you checked out.
I don't want to be
These aren't
checked out.
cops,
Okay,
okay?
I don't
These had
care.
nothing to do with. These guys had
Get
nothing
out of
to
my
do with
face, please.
Come on,
Just let
go.
me.
Get out.
So now I can get out.
Have a seat. Have a seat on the ground right here.
It's just
Yeah.
It was on my left.
Okay. Mind if I check you out, man?
Go ahead. I'm fine.
I gotta pull it out, alright?
No, I already pulled it out
You already
myself.
pulled it out?
Yes,
Can I
sir.
take a picture?
Go ahead.
So on this side?
Yes. I pulled it out.
After the incident, the victim's family hired multiple lawyers to sue the officers under the claim that their attack was racially motivated. Unfortunately, as of the date of this recording, no further information has been made available regarding the lawsuit. Moving on, we have an incident where officers escalated an ordeal by pointing their firearms at an ATF agent and then proceeding to tase him in an ignorant and unprofessional manner. On July 7, 2020, in Columbus, Ohio, James Burke, a special agent with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or the ATF, was following up on a tip about an illegally owned gun. However, because Mr. Burke did not don a uniform or carry a warrant, a woman at the condominium he went to visit called 911 instead of opening her door. This resulted in officers Joseph Fie and Kevin Winchell arriving at the scene. How these officers handled the situation, though, was far from professional.
Yeah. What's the roll call? 3359.
Hey, turn around. Let me see your hands. Turn around. Let me see your hands. Okay, let me see your hands. I need to see some ID. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now.
Without warning, the officer immediately took out his firearm and aimed it at the defenseless agent. Obviously, such an action was largely uncalled for. This is because, as stated by the United Nations Human Rights Office, law enforcement officials shall not use firearms against persons except in self-defense or defense of others against the imminent threat of death or serious injury, to prevent the perpetration of a particularly serious crime involving grave threat to life, to arrest a person presenting such a danger and resisting their authority, or to prevent his or her escape, and only when less extreme means are insufficient to achieve these objectives. In any event, intentional lethal use of firearms may only be made when strictly unavoidable in order to protect life. It should be noted that even the act of brandishing a firearm can have consequences. Such an event was noted in the city of Phoenix, where the city's council agreed to pay $475,000 to a family in 2020 after one of its officers approached their parked car with his gun drawn. As reported in the Arizona Republic at the time, the husband and wife were in the car with their 2 young daughters when a police officer suddenly came up and started banging on the window with a gun, saying that he was going to shoot them in the face. Nevertheless, the officer continued to point a dangerous weapon at the registered ATF agent.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground now.
I'm a federal agent.
917-110-3.
I'm a federal agent.
Get on the ground.
10-3.
I'm a federal agent.
Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward.
Okay.
You didn't ask for it.
He is at 33590
Get on the ground. We'll figure it out.
Drive on that 10-8.
Not getting on the ground.
Well, then stay where you're at.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Fine. Why do you got to make this harder than it is?
Listen, I'm not getting on.
I have no problem making this.
I just want to see if anybody has any reason to respond as well.
Despite Mr. Burke not showing any signs of hostility or danger, the officer refused to lower his weapon and continued yelling, needlessly escalating the situation. As a result, he violated his department's de-escalation policy, which states, "Sworn personnel shall attempt to de-escalate a situation by using trained techniques, such as building rapport, communication skills, maintaining a safe distance, utilizing a barrier, etc., when it is safe to do so." On top of that, the officer was violating another policy laid out by the U.S. Department of Justice, which states, law enforcement officers and correctional officers may use deadly force only when necessary. That is when the officer has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or another person. It should also be noted that 1. Deadly force may not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect. 2. Officers will be trained in alternative methods and tactics for handling resisting subjects, which must be used when the use of deadly force is not authorized by this policy. 3. Deadly force should not be used against persons whose actions are a threat solely to themselves or property, unless an individual poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or others in close proximity. When referring to the aforementioned policy, it's clear that the officer was not justified in pointing his firearm or threatening the use of deadly force.
You're the overreacting.
I'm not overreacting. We got a call that someone's impersonating a police officer out here and doesn't have ID.
No kidding, because she doesn't want to open it.
Okay, get on the ground so I can find out who you are.
It ain't happening.
Okay, fine. Fine. Do you think I'm a police officer or something? What the heck's the matter with you? Who do you think you are? Get on the ground!
I'm not getting out of
Chopper things.
I'm not getting
9170, I'm pulling up.
I got my ID.
Do not reach for your waist! Keep your hands up!
Why would I have it over?
Keep your hands up!
Sir! Don't argue! Face down! On the ground! Face down! Now! Face down!
You guys are making a big mistake.
Fine, we'll settle that in a second. Settle that. Face down! Now! All the way down! All the way! All the
You
way!
got my IDs right here, left pocket. Left.
And we're gonna put your arm behind your back, sir.
Wait a sec.
Do not resist!
I'm not resisting.
You're acting like a
No,
moron!
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Don't do this. Wait a second. I got a medical condition. Get my license out of my pocket.
We're getting you secured!
Please, wait. No, whoa. Hold on. I'm hyperventilating.
Despite Agent Burke stating multiple times that he had his identification in his pocket, the officers began using force to unlawfully detain the victim. By once again escalating the situation and not conducting a lawful identification stop, the officers were violating the U.S. Department's use of force policy, which states, officers may use only the force that is objectively reasonable to effectively gain control of an incident while protecting the safety of the officer and others, in keeping with the standards outlined in the 1989 case law Graham v. Connor, 490 U.S. 386. Officers may use force only when no reasonably effective, safe, and feasible alternative appears to exist, and may use only the level of force that a reasonable officer on the scene would use under the same or similar circumstances. Furthermore, by unlawfully detaining and using force against an innocent man, the officers violated Agent Burke's fourth constitutional right. This is because the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution provides that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. The ultimate goal of this provision is to protect people's right to privacy and freedom from unreasonable intrusions by the government.
Please, wait, please, sir. I'm
resisting.
I'm not.
Stop resisting.
Would you
now.
please get my ID out of my left pocket?
Stop.
I'm begging you. My wife's pregnant. Please, it's right here.
Resist.
Please get it. Wait, sir, help me up. Just hold me up. Sir, I can't do it. Wait, sir.
Stop resisting now.
Please help me. Sir, please get my
taser out.
my federal creds.
Get your taser out, Jill.
No, don't do that, please. Sir.
Don't make me tase you!
You're gonna get tased. Put your right arm behind your back.
Okay.
Put your right arm behind your back.
Help me up.
Now. No.
Help me up.
No, you're gonna stay on the ground and put your right arm behind your back.
Let me breathe.
You can
I'm
breathe
gonna.
just fine.
I'm gonna. Ow! Don't do that. Okay, here. My God!
Get him cuffed.
It is cuffed. Please stop.
Get him cuffed!
Please stop, sir.
Even though the agent was already restrained and face down on the ground, the officer began tasing the victim. As previously mentioned, however, the ACLU's taser policy has a strict warning against this, as it states that officers will, if feasible, give the subject a verbal warning before using the taser. The warning should be an explicit statement such as stop, get on the ground, or you will be tased. Officers will also announce to cover officers that the taser is being deployed whenever possible. Moreover, the use of the taser violates their department's use of force policy, which states that sworn personnel shall not use more force than is reasonable in an incident. Despite the ironclad rules laid down by their department, the officers continue to detain the agent.
Wait a second. Sir, please help me up. Please!
Get this kid.
I'm a federal agent! My God, my gun, my
You
pistol.
have no idea what you are, acting the way you are.
Sir!
Who the heck do you think you are acting like?
Nobody! I wanted you to see my goddamn creds! The lady was freaking out, for Christ's sake! Oh. Sir, please! Please! My God! Sir! Sir!
Roll over. Sit up.
It's in my goddamn
Sit up.
showed her my
Sit up.
creds!
Let him sit up. Let him sit up.
I showed her my goddamn creds, for Christ's sake! Right there, left pocket. Left pocket, cargo pocket. Please take it out.
Stand up. Try and
Guys,
sit up.
I get it. I get it.
Then you should have behaved the way you
act the way you did.
Yes, I wanted you to see my creds, for Christ's sake. My God, I'm here.
No, you're the one that's in the wrong.
Sir.
You know if you have interaction with the police, you obey commands.
Sir, I was trying to get
No, you didn't obey any commands.
Sir, I'm with you guys, for Christ's sake. I'm a federal agent.
Who's your supervisor? What's his name? What's your supervisor's name?
Hang on a second. The SAC is currently John McPherson, who's on his way out to retire, who will soon be rolling.
I took the mag out.
My God. This is crazy.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Stand up. Stand
I'm
up.
not trying to be ashamed of myself.
Come out and see the back of the cruiser.
Let me see
Get in the
your
car.
creds.
Get in the car.
Sir, please.
You gotta see the back of the cruiser.
Now, even though officers Fahey and Winchell had proof of Mr. Burke being an ATF agent, they still placed him in handcuffs and escorted him back to their vehicle. This was clearly an unlawful action, as police officers can only make an arrest if they have an arrest warrant. Generally, the warrant requirement applies to any arrest. There are exceptions to the requirement, though. For instance, the police may arrest without a warrant if they have probable cause that the suspect committed a felony. Since Agent Burke hadn't committed any felonies, however, the officers were making an unlawful arrest.
God. Sir, I'm just trying to do my goddamn
Just get in the
job.
car. Why would you make us do this?
I didn't want you to. I wanted to. Wait.
No.
Hold on. He's holding him. I'm locking the door.
Relax.
Hold him.
Hey, guys, please, just talk to me for 1 second, please.
Get in the car.
No,
We'll
wait.
talk later.
Sir, wait.
You had your chance.
No, I was trying to give you my creds. You didn't let me show them to
Never
you.
once tried.
I did.
Get in there. Have a seat.
Wait,
Now.
Have a seat.
Please, wait. I gotta breathe.
Okay,
Please,
you
sir,
can-
let
you
me
can
breathe.
sit down and breathe.
Let me breathe. I have a medical condition.
We're gonna get air tea. Get
No,
your legs in. Get your legs in. We're closing this door.
Sir,
Get your legs in.
917. We
I
have
need
a
air.
squad rolling. This guy's claiming
Sir,
he's having
please,
breathing
call an
problems.
ambulance. I'm asking
I
for
just
an
did.
Got a
2
medic
seconds
coming.
ago.
Get in the car.
ambulance. Sir, I don't need the taser didn't.
You just said call an ambulance. We don't need a medic.
Now you don't want one.
All the way in the car. Get all
Sir,
the way in.
I can't breathe.
Go run.
Wait, sir.
All the way in. Push your seat all the way in.
No, sir, I'm begging you.
Get all the way in.
Wait, how did this happen? Okay.
Get in. For crying out loud. You're a cop. You're not an ass.
No, wait, I can't. You're my head up. The seatbelt's in place. Please.
Ignoring the victim's cries for help, the officers treated Agent Burke roughly and continued to use an excessive amount of force on him. According to the United Nations Human Rights Office, law enforcement officials shall ensure the full protection of the health of persons in their custody, and in particular, shall take immediate action to secure medical attention whenever required. It should be noted that simply calling for an ambulance and proceeding to manhandle a person in their custody is not allowed for a police officer. Therefore, their actions can be called into question here.
Why would you act like this?
I didn't act any. Oh. Please, sir, I
If
didn't
you
act.
are a real police officer, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm trying to give you my creds.
Your guns up.
Sir, I'm trying to give you my creds. Sir!
It's on your dash. Really wouldn't do anything I'm trying to tell
Secure
you.
in your vehicle. Secure the gun in your vehicle.
Please call my supervisor. Please call John McPherson.
We have our supervisor on the way. We'll let him handle it.
Please call my supervisor, guys.
My sergeant's on the way. He's going to take care of it.
I mean, seriously, guys. Hey, sir. I didn't mean to get you worked up, but
When you get a gun pointed in your face by a cop, you get to argue. You don't get to argue. You don't get to argue. You don't get to argue anymore.
I was trying to show you my creds.
You get to do that after you're secured.
A few minutes later, the officers found out that there was a witness to the conversation that took place between the ATF agent and his suspect. As a result, their peers detained this newfound witness and interrogated them.
Was this guy here outside the whole time?
I think so. We had to get him as a witness.
Yeah. Hey, sir, I'm going to need you to hang around for a little bit.
You got everything, right? Thank you. I'm just putting this stuff on your hood.
That's fine.
Whenever the sergeant gets here, we'll call his supervisor.
Let him handle. I'm not talking to any.
It's disappointing. Dude, you saw how he was. He wouldn't
I know.
lie. No, you never. No.
Don't even argue with him.
It's all on video.
Don't even argue with him. Just let him yell. Just let him yell.
He may even really be a police officer. He's got a badge, but he wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't get on the ground. I told him over and over to get on the ground. He wouldn't comply with anything. He followed us the whole time. Sir, wouldn't get in the car. If he is a real police officer, no,
I had a little scratch. I'm fine.
I do that. Yeah.
All right.
Did we get him all a good pat down on him and everything?
Not really.
We got 133 off him.
I gave her my name. I gave her my badge number. And when the officer I was taken by surprise, I got out. I went
We get her in the car.
Where?
I don't have mine. I mean,
the door knock. I couldn't show him my credits. He's telling me to get on the ground. He's pointing the gun. I'm freaking out because it's not the response I expected. And I was trying to do my best.
Which car did he come in?
Right there. Right there.
Did you run that tab? Which one?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't see one black Kia.
You got the camera going?
Yeah. When we actually came together, you knocked mine
I
off.
saw yours go fine. I wasn't sure it was. Mine should be still working.
That's why I told you to go for yours.
I was thinking we were going to get him, but that was the only way to get him.
Trust, Harper Trust Company.
He was strong. So his supervisor was going to come to see. That's the way he acted. It's all on video.
He's got a good-looking badge and ID.
He very well may be. But you know what? With a woman police officer, yeah. I know.
It's worked up. James Burke.
He said over and over, I'm not getting on the ground. I will not. I said, you obviously don't know what's going on then. If he's here to work a warrant by himself, there's something strange about that.
It's not a warrant. He said something about the guy info. Her husband bought a shotgun or something. He was here to follow up on some shotgun purchase.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a 50A or 50B. I don't know. I think he's landlord or something.
Hold on to him. Hey, you got your tablet?
He's right there. Give him a second. He's still figuring out what's going on with the problem. You saw everything, right? Oh, yeah.
Mike, right?
Yes, Mike.
So 3359, the original caller?
I guess.
That where was that where the kid and wife live?
No problem. Yeah.
We need to talk to her then.
After more officers arrived on the scene and made arrangements to call Agent Burke's supervisor, the arresting officer went over to the woman who the victim was talking to initially.
Yeah, I think this is our original caller here.
Are you guys going to get a read? What did he say to you when he was talking to you?
To open the door because he's a police. I tell him I can't open the door because my husband.
For officers on edge, Brooke, we were finally able to get
He said you have to open the door. I tell him I'm sorry, I can't. Stay with my kids. My kids start crying because they're afraid. And I tell him.
Did he ever try and break the door or anything like that?
Yes, he is still knocked and he said I will stay here until evening if you don't open the door because you are liar.
Okay. Very good. There's a chance the sergeant might want to talk to you, so thank you very much. Okay, good. Thanks, Dee.
Appreciate your hard work. Thank you. You have a
There's a chance he may even be legitimate.
But she said he grabbed the handle and tried to push it open, though.
They said it. We put it as an 8 that he's trying to break in.
Well, no, she said he forcibly grabbed the channel.
Yeah. We got what the run says. We got my video. Yeah. Oh, it's just ridiculous. It's just plain. In these days, we got people like this. I told him, I said, if you are a real police officer,
basically he's just standing there like this, and Joe's ordering him around. He's like, no, I'm going to show you my creds. You know, Joe said, no, you need to get down. He had a gun. I came up, pointed my gun. After both of us pointed our guns at him, he finally started getting on the ground. Then went to go handcuff him. He's like, no, 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 and he tried to pull like this and tried to not let us handcuff him.
So we got one cuff on. We couldn't get the other one on. I had to drive steady. Where's my tape? See it?
It has to be over there in the grass, probably. That's where you were at.
Yeah, I just pushed it off.
It has to be over here in the grass then. You were basically right here.
Yeah, it was right here.
You might have fallen down underneath there. Look, there's a spot underneath the grass, right underneath the cartridge on his taser.
It looks just like this.
So, you might have fallen.
Or did we set it on your phone? No.
Yeah, do you have
You see one of these?
here and and Carl, you got anyone to keep on? Yes, sir. Still waiting for ATV. Okay, I've down everything else.
And I gave her everything.
It was fine, but then he wouldn't get in the car. It's like, okay. He's a big, strong guy.
I want to tell your supervisor what a nice job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got to tell him.
Okay.
You know,
very good.
The people have complained, they complain, but when you got to appreciate that we never
We sure try. That's the sergeant. If you want to go and see if he can talk to you, you can. It's up to you.
Yeah.
He may wait till he's ready.
Yeah,
but
I bet.
Thank you so much. He did have a gun, yes. He very well may be a real police officer, but he wasn't following protocol.
Yep. I doubt it very much.
Yep.
I doubt it very much. He's a police officer.
Thank you.
Promise.
Thank you.
No way. Thank you.
Oh, that sure would have made it easier.
Well, no, if I'd have reached for it, I didn't even realize I had it on. But I can't.
6 months after the incident, Agent Burke filed a civil rights lawsuit against the acting officers from the Columbus Division of Police. However, the police officers he was suing raised qualified immunity as an affirmative defense, which means a judge could excuse them from liability, even if Agent Burke proved that they had violated his constitutional rights. Unfortunately, as of the date of this recording, no further information has been made available regarding this case. Next up, we have an incident where officers punched and tased a medically ill man while he was pinned down in his bed. On September 28, 2018, in Staten Island, New York, a person called 911 regarding domestic disturbance amid an argument between their 29-year-old neighbor, William Cullen, and his ex-girlfriend over some clothing she had given him for his birthday. During the conversation, Mr. Cullen's brother, Jazz, then showed the woman out of the apartment, where she immediately fell on her face, which is exactly when the officers arrived on the scene. Upon witnessing this, the police accused Mr. Cullen of punching the woman in the face. What really happened, however, was that the woman tripped on her way out. Despite this, the officers confronted Mr. Cullen. The following footage shows what transpired next.
Step back. I want this gentleman over there.
For what?
I don't need you to lock me out of here.
Just move back so I can lock the chain.
I'm gonna tell you. This is my older brother. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you lock the door, and don't let me in. I'm gonna have the issue come here and break the door.
There's no reason to, but okay.
Okay. Yeah. Unlock the door. Step outside with us.
No way.
For what?
Step outside with us.
No.
I don't want to step outside.
You don't.
No, I don't want to step outside.
Why are you coming in our house for?
Why are you coming in our house for? What are you doing?
This is the 121. This is the 121. This is the 121. My brother, he has medical issues. He has scoliosis. It's all documented. Diabetes, and look at him, bend his back. He has scoliosis and everything. Look, this is what they doing. They have no warrant.
I didn't do nothing.
They have no warrant. He broke in my crib.
As stated by Mr. Jazz, the officers had no right to enter the victim's apartment. According to Not Guilty Adams, when asked whether an officer was allowed to enter private property without a warrant, they responded saying, "Generally, no one's home holds a special place in constitutional law, as it represents a space of privacy that is beyond the reach of the government." That is why the Supreme Court has been clear that a basic principle of Fourth Amendment law is that searches and seizures inside a home without a warrant are presumptively unreasonable. The only times exceptions to this are when 1. The police witness you commit a felony and you run from them into your home. 2. The police come to your door and see drugs in the home when the door is open, then they may enter without a warrant. 3. You or someone else who has dominion and control over the residence allow cops to come into the house when they come to your door. 4. The police are surveilling your home and through an open window, they see someone flushing drugs down the toilet. They can enter the home based on exigent circumstances. However, since none of the above conditions applied here, the officers were violating the brothers' 4th constitutional rights.
Oh yeah, Burke, don't resist. Don't resist, Burke. Mommy's already, trust me, you already got a lawyer. You already got a lawyer from the last one. Yo, Burke, don't do nothing. Burke, don't do nothing.
I have medical
This is the 1-2-1. He has medical problems. If you tase him, he will get hurt. He has a medical condition. No, he has a medical condition. I'm recording. I'm in my home. Y'all had no right to come in here. Y'all have no right to come in. And my mother's coming up the steps right now. All right? Y'all had no right. Y'all had, bro, put your hands on your back.
Do nothing.
Bro.
I didn't do nothing.
Excuse me, he would like to press charges on her. Bro, put your hands on. Excuse me.
I didn't do nothing.
Bro, put your hands on.
No, I didn't do nothing.
Bro. You see what y'all doing? He has medical problems. He has issues. He goes to therapy and all that. What are y'all doing?
Watch my team.
Yo, Burke, stop fighting. Just let them do what they gotta do, bro.
Give me your hands.
He's punching me.
Yo, you punching him?
Give me your hands.
He's punching my brother. He's touching my brother. He tased him. Yo, he just tased my brother. Yo, you see what y'all doing to this little boy?
Despite Mr. Jazz proclaiming over and over that his brother had medical conditions, the officers used an excessive amount of force in detaining the victim. On top of this, the officers did not issue a verbal warning before deploying their tasers. As previously mentioned twice before, this action violated the ACLU's taser policy, along with their department's guidelines on the use of force.
Y'all see what y'all doing to this little boy? Oh yeah, in his home. Man, y'all had no right to come in here. Excuse me, I would like to press charges on that female there for vandalizing my house. She vandalized my house and punched my brother. I would like to press charges on her. Okay? So no one's taking my complaint. Just the lady downstairs. Just the lady downstairs. You see what y'all doing to my brother? Fucking lucky pigs. I'm telling you. Can never do no work. Thanks.
Okay, guys, so the
Sir, can you step out, please?
This is my house, for what?
I understand, but can you step out?
Step out of where? So y'all could abuse my brother? So y'all could abuse my brother like you just did? You just punched him. Why you had a taser and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other officers in here? On this little man, he's not even 5 foot. He's not even 5 foot.
He said, can you step out? That's all.
Can you guys step out of my house?
Can you step out?
I'll step out. That's my house right there, look.
After the situation calmed down and the officers left, the victim spent 5 days at Richmond University Medical Center, where staff stopped him from spiraling into a diabetic coma after the taser caused his blood sugar to skyrocket. Furthermore, he was also checked for broken bones and internal damage that he received from the ordeal. Despite this and the lack of evidence of any damage to the woman, Mr. Cullen was charged with 4 crimes, including assault and resisting arrest. Although a spokesman for Staten Island DA, Michael McMahon, said his office would investigate the cop's conduct, there has still been no update regarding this incident as of current. Our last case of the day involves an incident where an innocent civilian was assaulted by an officer of the law after being accused of jaywalking. On April 10, 2017, in Sacramento, California, 25-year-old Nandi Cain Jr. was walking home from work in Del Paso Heights. During this, however, Officer Anthony Figueroa stopped his patrol vehicle to approach Mr. Cain on foot after seeing him crossing an intersection. Officer Figueroa said he was stopping Cain for jaywalking. However, when pedestrian advocates later reviewed the incident, they questioned the validity of the stop since the victim was traveling from one sidewalk to another sidewalk on the opposite side of the road. The following footage showcases what transpired.
Charles 2-4, give me, show me out 1, Cypress and Grant. Hey, can I stop with you real quick, bud? Can you come here, please? Yeah. Come here, bud. Can you get your hands in your pocket? Okay. Come here. I do, you're jaywalking. You're jaywalking back here. Okay, maybe you look both ways. Okay. Okay, stop. Okay, stop right now. Stop right now before I take you to the ground. If you do not stop right now, I will take you to the ground.
According to Schaus law, jaywalking is defined as crossing the street outside of a crosswalk when there is an adjoining intersection controlled by a traffic signal device or police officers. In this context, controlled means that there are signals in operation that indicate when you may cross the street. As was seen in the footage, however, there were no signals or police officers present at the intersection. Therefore, Mr. Cain was not jaywalking, and the officer was conducting an unlawful jaywalking stop. Consequently, Officer Figueroa was violating the victim's fourth constitutional rights, since the Fourth Amendment guards against unreasonable searches and seizures during multiple circumstances. Nevertheless, the officer continued to harass Mr. Cain while telling him to submit to his orders.
Get down on the ground now. Get down on the ground now. Get down on the ground now. Get down on the ground.
I don't have nothing.
Get down on the ground now.
Real man, you just take your gun away and you can fight me like a real man if that's what you want to do.
I'm gonna fight.
Immediately, out of nowhere, the officer shoved the victim and started repeatedly punching him in the face while he was on the ground. This was without a doubt a violation of his department's use of force policy, which states, any peace officer who has reasonable cause to believe that the person to be arrested has committed a public offense may use objectively reasonable force to effect the arrest, to prevent escape, or to overcome resistance. Furthermore, the other officer on the scene who arrived shortly after did not stop his peer from assaulting the victim. Thus, he was also liable for violating their department's General Order 580.02 under their duty to intercede policy, which states that officers are under an obligation to intercede during excessive force situations or be held liable to the same standard as the office who applied the force.
Why could you not just comply? You're fucking jaywalking, that's all you do. I'm working. I'm gonna let you go. Okay, weapons on you.
I'm not killing you, that's God's work. And what the fuck is that? You gonna be hearing from my lawyer and my boss. I'm gonna start.
No, he's on foot. Stop fucking moving over.
You're still a pussy. You're still a pussy. If you was real, you would have fought me for real though. Without your gun, without all that shit. Real.
My gun's also the whole time.
I don't care, I don't trust you. You know how many police can kill motherfuckers already? I don't trust you. You could have taken your gun off, took your belt off, and fought me for real. Put it in your car and then fight you.
What else you got on you, isn't it?
Take that gun off, put it in the car and then fight me. Take that gun off, put it in the car and then fight me. Then we can see a real match. Y'all want to be guys like y'all real men? Y'all here killing people and shit? Y'all here fucking people up for nothing? It's your probable cause for moving you over. You're pretty alive to me, man. I am alive. I'm good and alive. My soul is alive. You can't kill my pride. You can't kill my soul, no nothing. You don't know who you for real. Me and boy shit.
Hey, stop.
Attention District 2 units. We have a 953 Street and
Fuck that. I live both ways. There's no cars in the street. I'm a grown-ass man. I know how to cross the street. They've been telling me ever since motherfucking in first grade, look, go pay for you to cross the street. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I've been having a hard-ass week. They don't leave me the fuck alone. I'm tired. Leave me alone. Are you going to provide me with housing? Are you going to give me a better job? That's all right. No, you're not. Man, stop pushing my arm, bro. Stop pushing my arm. All right, bro. All right, bro. All right. Okay. All right. All right. On my house, bro. Y'all stuff, man. Y'all stuff. I forgot your money. Right. I don't give a fuck. I didn't do shit. You know how many people walk that street every day? You know how many people cross that street every day? I ain't the first one. Man, what's out, man?
Okay, landing again.
Yeah. What's up? Where my earring at? Stop, man. That shit hurt. You break my you're gonna be hearing from my lawyer.
Now, the officers were placing Mr. Cain under arrest. This was, of course, an unlawful arrest since there was video footage of Mr. Cain not breaking any laws. It's also important to note that California law says that a police officer can only make a warrantless arrest in two main situations. One, the first instance where police may make a warrantless arrest is when you commit a crime in the officer's presence. Two, the second is when the officer has probable cause to believe you committed a felony. This is true even if you did not commit the crime in the officer's presence. Considering that neither was the case, however, Mr. Cain's rights were being infringed upon once again as he was placed in the back of a police vehicle.
I had a rough ass week, y'all niggas fucking with me, kicking me out. Come on, man. I don't got time for none of this shit, man. Why motherfuckers don't be wanting to talk?
Stop moving.
Man, stop twisting my arm. Can you let go of my wrist? Can you let go of my wrist?
Not at this moment.
Bro, you already got me in handcuffs. What the I do? You know I'm already in handcuffs. What the I do? Let go of my wrist or you break my and you break my
I couldn't get that one open. Okay. Go to open the door.
Y'all call my motherfucking ass. Matter of fact, I'm ready to die. Fuck that. Stop squeezing my shit, bro. My mama, you can take the gun and you can shoot me in my head right now. Because I'm tired of living. I'm tired of living.
Okay. Just keep your feet in.
I'm tired of living. I've been through too much shit already. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. Police! You! Oh! I mean, too much going through this. I'm tired of all this, man. Leave me alone. I just got off work. I've been having a hard-ass week. What the are you at? Don't you understand? All right, stop. I can't breathe.
Go around the other legs.
Okay, what are you doing? Okay.
You need to take a deep breath, dude.
I can't
Change
breathe.
your attitude.
I can't
Change
breathe.
your attitude and calm down. You understand?
All right, you let me go.
All right, we're gonna let you go in a sec. We're gonna give you a minute to cool down, but you right now you're threatening our safety.
How the fuck am I threatening
Hold
your
a
safety
second.
when I'm in handcuffs? That's what I'm saying.
Door.
So what? I'm
That's
angry.
vandalism.
I'm angry.
City property.
Y'all harassing me. Y'all provoked me. Y'all harassing me. How the fuck? How?
Fit in, bud. Hey guys, that's not this road.
Did it come up this way?
Right here in the intersection.
What the Why? Leave me alone. I'm so tired of this shit, man. I just want to go. I don't even have no man. I don't even got no home to go to. Like, this shit is bullshit. I hate my life. I hate my life. way.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll start him crossing the street. Cars are still going. He's on the middle street. Cars are still going. Cars are still 93. And,
Yeah.
and so you have to cross over right here.
Yeah, I got my earring on the ground.
Alright, give me a second.
Somebody gonna reimburse me for my... I need $100 right now, straight up.
Okay. Well, if you're gonna keep acting like that, I'm not gonna help you.
Okay, well, I'm asking you a question.
And I just told you I'll go get it for you in a minute.
It's damaged already. You ain't even gonna be able to find it. It's damaged. You didn't my shit.
Go for 240.
Hey, your earrings on the head. Just drop it down. Confirm you're back on one thing.
Hell man, right now. I'm fucking pissed off I am right now. This shit is pissing me off. First off, sir, what was your probable cause for arresting me? What was your probable cause for pulling me over? Huh?
After the incident, Mr. Cain was wrongfully taken to the Sacramento County Main Jail, where, even there, he was abused. After he got out, Mr. Cain, unsurprisingly, filed a lawsuit against the city and the officers where, in the end, he agreed to settle his federal civil rights claim for a series of changes in police procedures and a $500,000 payment under a deal approved by the Sacramento City Council. The settlement also included a provision that Officer Figueroa would not work as a patrol officer in Del Paso Heights until at least 2020, and until he had completed implicit bias training. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter